Touchdown, Miami!
Whoa. Damn. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Extra Yard. Today, we are joined by Miami Alejandro on Twitter. Alejandro is below us. As you can see, he's got a fantastic picture. Alejandro, you're looking great today, man, honestly.
Bro, thank you. I try.
Yeah, you got it. And then we have a second Michael here, not Royal, and his very interesting name. We've got Michael JMV. You can follow him out on Twitter. What is your @ on Twitter? Just to let people know.
JMV Fanatics.
JMV Fanatics. Thank you so much for joining the show, man. We're going to be talking all things Dolphins. We're going to start doing some season predictions for Tua specifically, talk about the depth chart, and one of the new number one wide receivers who, personally, I've been touting up for a while now against everyone else, right? But first, I got to let you guys know, Thrive Fantasy, we do have that week 1 competition still going on. You can check that out on Thrive Fantasy. The code for that competition is Dolphins. It's a really easy free entry. Winner gets an undisclosed amount of money that I don't remember. Other than that, you can also join Thrive Fantasy and use the code 5FINS for 100% money match guarantee up to $100. So if you like free money, definitely hop on there. Use Thrive Fantasy. You should see a link in the description. So before we do anything else, I do have to fulfill a bet. I'm going to do that right off the bat because I am a man of my word and it is what it is. Michael Christian, bro, whoever has their phone though, you got to, what's happening here? I, Michael Christian, am a delusional Hurricanes fan because apparently I assumed that the Hurricanes were going to lose. And they did, and so
wait, no, it doesn't make it good because of the picture. It doesn't even work. I'm sorry, I gotta take it off.
Wow, dude, it is. What
I'm
it is.
so happy.
You won that bet.
Well, I did. Yeah, I did it. I gotta fulfill the bet. I'm a man of my word. Listen, the Canes got their ass handed to them. It is what it is.
What was the bet? It was if it was more than 30, right?
No, it was more than
the 19 and a half point spread.
Yeah, more than the line of 19 and a half.
Okay.
So it is what it is. So
I'm very excited to clip that. I
don't even know. But let's move on. First thing we want to jump into. Let's talk about the depth chart that was just released. Couple surprises that were happening on there. Juan, I'm going to throw it to you first. What about that number 1 wide receiver spot?
You're talking about Jalen Waddle in the slot. I love it. I love that he's ahead of Albert Wilson.
No.
I think he's going to be an explosive threat.
No, I'm asking you about Jakeem Grant.
Nah, he's like the like a Trojan horse. He's just there for show. It's to scare people with speed. But once we get to the game, he's a get back on the bench type of guy. He's not. Yeah.
How much stock, Kai, do you put into the depth chart in terms of like how much of it is actually like that's who's going to go out first, or that's who they just have listed on there and they'll put out whoever they want?
I put 0. I mean, remember last year when everyone was going crazy that Mike Gesicki was listed as a second string tight end, and then Mike Gesicki was our most like important tight end, probably one of our biggest pieces that we had pretty much all year. So I put absolutely 0 stock into it. Like it's just funny because now we all get to laugh about the Jakeem Grant thing, and that's about it. Like the rest of it's
so you guys aren't concerned about Jalen Phillips being a third teamer?
Why should we?
I mean,
played at all.
That's important, you know. He's a first round pick, and you know Chris Greer and. Mike, are you gonna lead the negativity, or am I?
I'm not saying anything. Listen, I mean, you could have had a running back at that spot. It is what it is. I've got nothing else. I've got nothing else to say about it. I'm gonna throw this one to you, Michael and Alejandro. There's been a lot of stuff floating out there on the internet. We bring you guys in as people that are kind of Dolphins Twitter focal points, right? Kind of that first stop. I know we've been talking about the depth chart, but I did want to ask you guys, what the hell's been going on with everybody and what they think about the Miami Dolphins in terms of national perception and all that kind of stuff? Looking at the depth chart, do you think any of it is warranted? Like maybe the offensive line is bad and the national media should be worried, or they're all just hating on Miami? Michael, we'll start with you.
It's a little bit of both. I'm not too worried about the rest of the team. The offensive line does worry me, though. I'm sure you guys are not fully committed to Austin Jackson on the left side.
I mean, Austin Jackson, it was preseason, but it wasn't a very good preseason.
He
Alejandro,
stinks. He stinks.
he thinks, yeah, then tell us more about it. Go ahead, Alejandro. Tell us what you think about Austin Jackson in this offensive line.
Bro, Austin Jackson wasn't a. First of all, he wasn't a good pick at 8. Like, I think most people had him like second round pick, and yeah, it was a reach. And he's basically what you expected out of USC. And if he's going to be good, I don't think he's really going to be good this season. I think maybe it's the next one because developmental prospect. I don't really think he's going to be that good yet. At this moment, he stinks. Liam Eichenberg should be the starting left tackle.
Liam Eichenberg is starting left tackle. Interesting. I know we had talked about possibly putting. Well, I had brought this up, and everybody kind of shut it down. I had mentioned putting Eichenberg at right tackle and putting Jesse Davis at left tackle since he's actually played NFL left tackle. But would you guys be comfortable with what Alejandro is suggesting and having Eichenberg start at left tackle, leaving Jesse at right tackle, and just having Austin Jackson as the backup left tackle?
I would, because as I'm sure you guys are not as comfortable as the rest of Dolphins Twitter with Jesse Davis, but he is the most experienced. Well, probably the only experienced offensive lineman that we got, and that's Tua's blindside at the end of the day.
Yep.
We're
so
not
that makes more sense.
We don't
Honestly,
know Liam in his first start in New England against Bill Belichick's defense. Jesse Davis has seen it.
I mean, Bill Belichick's going to pick on a lot of this offensive line. Royal, you have been the most negative on this offensive line literally from day one. Like, I mean, the first time I ever asked you about anything Dolphins, you said that offensive line needs some help. Is the offensive line going to be the downfall this season?
For sure. Like, I think that's just kind of like, that's where everybody is at this point, bro. It's the worst part of this team. If they could get that line to at least be serviceable, then they have a chance to really make some noise in the league, but I just don't see that happening. I mean, like you guys are alluding to, Austin Jackson is terrible, and Jesse Davis is the replacement. Like, y'all know how I feel about Jesse Davis. Like, I'm not a fan. 2-3 games, he's going to be hurt, and then we're still going to have to play Austin Jackson anyway. Y'all heard me say we that time? I'm converting.
Yeah,
I like the conversions process.
Yeah, you're coming along.
But yeah, like either way, like Jesse Davis is going to end up playing to my chagrin. But either way, when he plays, Austin Jackson is going to be in there. You're going to have to deal with Austin Jackson. You're going to have to deal with the rookie mistakes of Eichenberg. But I like Eichenberg in there starting with the first team and put whoever at left tackle, bro. It doesn't really matter at this point.
Okay, so let's take a consensus. You would rather take out Jesse Davis and have Eichenberg start along with Austin Jackson, or would you rather find a way to have Jesse Davis and Eichenberg start together?
I'd rather start Eichenberg and God. Austin Jackson. I just hate Jesse Davis, bro. I just hate his guts, bro. Like, I'd rather start anybody but him, bro.
I will say in the regular season, I don't think the offensive line is going to be as much of a problem as we're, talking into it. I think in the regular season, you can do things to try to get around how below average our offensive line is. Tua has great pocket presence. You can run little drag routes, get the ball out fast. Tua's great in the RPO. Once you jump into the playoffs, which is, I don't want to say it's the expectation, but it's what
it is 100%. It's expectation.
Yeah, we'll talk about season predictions later, but in my opinion, it should be.
We're shooting for. Once you hit the playoffs, trench work is the most important part. We'll get destroyed, and it doesn't matter who we play.
We saw
the teams that
saw the Chiefs come through with a really bad offensive line in the Super Bowl, and that literally cost them the game. And that's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So,
they have Mahomes. They have Mahomes. You know what I mean? And they still struggle.
Once you hit the first bad, like harsh pass rush with Tampa Bay, they got destroyed.
Yep. I mean, it's gonna be a rough time. I think honestly, if we wanted to talk about some positives and negatives on this team, I can't think of many negatives personally outside of the offensive line. I know for myself, I'd like a different running back, but that is what it is. Does anyone else see anything on this team that concerns them? Any other position group that you think probably not as strong as you'd like it to be, or you're worried about them going into the season? Juan, we'll start with you.
Definitely the rush defense. Like that for me is like number one sticking point, especially week one, because Damian Harris is a load to bring down, and we're gonna have to see who exactly can handle that, because New England has a top offensive line as well. So we're going to be looking at like a team that's going to want to run the ball on the first 2 downs every single play. If they get 4 yards a carry, I mean, we're looking at a 3rd and 2, and that's really where they'll want to have Mac Jones all game. Anytime that the Dolphins get you in 3rd and 6 and long, as far as the defense, that's where they're going to eat. That's where they want to kind of harp on right there, and especially with a rookie. So in my opinion, it's going to be whoever scores first, and based off of that, and yeah, the offensive line might not matter. Based off of that, we'll see, but definitely the rush defense is my thing to key on.
Alfredo Arteaga.
You agree with Alfredo Arteaga?
Whatever he says, him and Michael Christian, the 2 best football minds on this network.
Listen, I know for a fact that's definitely not true for me. So, I mean, there's a lot of people before me on there. Royal, I'm going to go with your negative is the offensive line. Is there anything else that worries you about this team?
No, I think that about sums it up. I hate the offensive line. And I just believe that's going to be key, like especially if we're trying to look for Tua to make the type of leap that we expect him to leap. We're not going to get away with being able to. I keep saying we, to be honest with you, and it's starting to bother me a little bit.
Just buy the
just
jersey,
run with
bro.
it. Just run with it.
Yeah, listen. Let's be honest. You don't have any more time with the Packers. Let's be frank. They're not going to win anything this year, so just jump off now.
You know what, bro? I'm not going to jump off it, but
you're taking someone's point, probably.
Yeah, but no. But back to my point. Look, they're going to be efficient in terms of the short to medium passing game, but that's not going to be sustainable all season long. And if they're going to be able to take some shots to outfield, be able to look for Tua to push the ball a little bit more, they're going to need that offensive line to be able to hold off some of the better pass rushes that they're going to see from this year. So that's going to be the biggest thing for me all year, just to watch how that line gels, to watch how they're able to deal with elite pass rushes and see if they can create opportunities for Tua to get some of those bigger plays down the field.
Yep. Alejandro, anything outside of the offensive line that worries you about this team?
Yeah, first of all, like, you already think Jesse Davis is that bad?
He said what now?
That Jesse Davis is really that bad?
Bro, I hate Jesse Davis, bro. Like he's
okay, you know what? Well, time
because he doesn't have a position, because he plays every position, and he's not good. He's not good at any of them. Like
he's not bad at any of them either.
I don't think Jesse
Davis.
Davis.
He's average. He's average.
Yeah.
Y'all are comfortable with Jesse Davis at everywhere because he plays everywhere. Like he's not good at anything. He's not horrific.
Yeah, but at least he's not bad.
Yeah,
he is bad. He's not. He's not bad. He's just not. He's not horrific, bro. He's not Austin Jackson. Like he's not that.
No, he's
but
not bad.
Not good.
Look, Jesse Davis to me is a perfect swing tackle. He's a perfect 6th offensive lineman. I would prefer to have somebody else there, but if I have to start him, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with starting him.
That's what I'm saying. He's a perfect 6th offensive lineman. The problem is that he's always with the first team until he gets hurt.
Because the rest of our linemen on any other team would probably be 3rd team or cut.
Fair enough. Why is Jesse Davis playing behind them anyway? If they would be that on other teams.
You do. I think it's funny though, because Alejandro came in like really hard with the Austin Jackson, get him out of here, and then you're like, no, Jesse Davis, get him out of here. So y'all are on opposite ends, literally on that one.
You can Alejandro, get both of them out of here.
That was going to be my next solution for sure.
Alejandro, though, a different position group, if there's any that worries you outside of the offensive line.
To be honest, I think we really need to talk about the inside linebacker depth. Like we have Landon Roberts starting, and then Jared Baker, and then who? Like, who do we got starting? Like, that's a problem. One of them get injured. Like, what?
Sam Eguavon got 4 sacks with one of them
Duke
being
Riley.
a safety.
Duke Riley's pulling. He got himself a baddie this training camp.
Yeah, bro, he's winning. He's winning in life. The only thing that matters.
So inside linebacker for you, I think that makes sense though. Inside linebacker depth can be a little shaky as long as one guy goes down.
Where's Ty Chisholm?
He's backstage.
He's working.
Oh,
yeah.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble.
God, that's like your favorite one right now.
Listen, he found that one a couple weeks ago, and he's been using it at least once every other day. It's fantastic. Michael, any position group
with the hate.
any position group outside of offensive line that worries you?
I agree with Alejandro with the inside linebacker depth, but if we're talking depth, the wide receiver would be cause for concern because 3 or 4 of those guys that we got are not historically they haven't been healthy. But we do have a stretch of games throughout the middle of the season where their teams, regardless if we're missing Devontae Parker and Will Fuller at the same time, it's still teams that we have more talent than, and it can give us time to get healthy. So as long as if we do make the playoffs, our wide receiver group is 100%. I think the only thing is the offensive line for the most part.
Yeah.
Because our pass rush isn't elite by any sense of the word, but Miami thrives with blitzing, and they leave X in an island, and they leave Byron Jones on the other side in an island, and that helps out. We have an elite secondary.
Okay.
So,
The pass rush isn't elite, but the Dolphins defense can get home. Like that's the thing about the defense.
It's a very scheme heavy kind of pressure.
Right. I think we talked about it the other week where it was like they don't have the individual defensive presence to be able to get there one-on-one by itself every time. But like Juan said, like that makes the Jalen Phillips on the third team interesting. But they do get pressure and they do get sacks. They do get to the quarterback. So the pass rush is something that falls a little bit lower on my end of worries. Yeah.
And I mean, this team thrives on a lot of things. I think they definitely thrive on the secondary. But you know what else thrives? Thrive Fantasy. Go check out the link in the description. Let's go. Let's see what else we can do.
Bravo, Michael Christian. Couldn't have done it better myself.
I did want to say on the wide receiver health, because Kendall brought it up and you brought it up, Michael. I think it's a good point. For me personally, I don't think that room needs to be 100% in the playoffs. I would love for it to be 100% because that is going to be it at its best. But I think they have enough guys that I think are interchangeable to a point where even if they're missing one of those guys, I still think they can make up for it. Right?
Their hope is that they only miss one or two guys every week, and it's not the same one consecutively.
Right, but that's the thing. I think the wide receiver room is good enough that they can get over that against some opponents, right? Including maybe in an early playoff matchup if they're only missing one of those guys. And I think hoping that we get there 100% healthy, I see literally no way that happens.
Okay, so here's where I'm going to help you guys coming from a different organization.
Here we go.
We should not get
hit me, Devontae.
A winning organization.
Right. We should not be comfortable with the idea of receivers missing time. Like this offense can't be maximized without all the weapons that they have at their disposal. So you cannot maximize. Bro, listen, bro. The boy gonna use them GRE words every now and again. But you can't get comfortable with the idea of not having your full arsenal with you, bro. So it's like the team. The reason that you're excited about this team is because you have the prospect of Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, Albert Wilson, and Will Fuller all being able to be in the tool shed of the offensive coordinators. If you just be like, we can miss one of them, we can miss two of them, then you lowering the ceiling on this team, and I don't think you want to get in the habit of doing that.
Kendall could have used any other word, and he picked drop. He really went in there and he picked drop. What? Kai, I see you typing that. What are you talking about? Grant trade value. He's number one wide receiver on this team. He's first.
Exactly. Team. That's why he has all the value right now.
He's first team.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Listen, I'm not lying. Check the depth chart. He's number one. It is what it is. Everybody got to deal with it. Now, one thing that is going to be interesting in this upcoming weekend, we'll get into it more on Thursday when we do our actual breakdown, but we have to talk about it because it happened. AJ, right? Austin Jackson and Shaheen entered COVID protocol.
Of course, fucking Shaheen, bro. Like, if there was anybody who was gonna, like, literally all.
Isn't this the second time too? This is the second time,
bro. It's like 3 times in a month.
God.
Literally, all we talked about all off season training camp is him. And
okay,
lo and behold,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't see why he's still here.
It's interesting. I mean,
I don't.
They didn't come out like Urban Meyer and say that it did affect the decision, right? I mean, they weren't that dumb, but yeah.
Like I understand that on the field he has talent. For some reason beyond me, he is always the one running that little hitch right there on the line, and Tua hits him every time, and we've got about 3 yards. I'm fine with losing Adam Shaheen and giving that job to literally anyone else, including Ethan Carter. Do you guys think Adam Shaheen is worth keeping regardless of all this stuff going on? We'll start with you, Michael.
I do not. But at the same time, Hunter Long had an injury in the preseason, so I don't. The Dolphins aren't one of those organizations, just like the Heat, for example, in another sport. They don't really go in depth with injuries. So we don't know how bad his injury was, but he was practicing, and
he played a preseason game after
he did very limited snaps, but he did. But if he were to be hurt or re-aggravate whatever he had, whatever the actual cause of his injury was, then we'd be lacking a little bit of depth.
But even personally, I'm even fine with having Durham Smythe do those things. I think he could do the fine. Again, it's a 2-yard play. But Alejandro, what do you think?
Bro, Shaheen is like he's a fine player, but like the talent doesn't merit all this trouble you have to go through. Like if he was Lamar Jackson or something, like you understand, like man, you're not going to an MVP. But like Adam Shaheen, bro, like what?
Listen, it's Adam Shaheen. Like who even? What was it? He was on the Bears before this, right?
He was a second round pick.
Yeah.
But he was with the Bears.
Yeah.
If the Bears
Second
give
or
up on
third,
you,
yeah.
come on.
Well, you know
What?
what's funny? They
These are the
drafted
same
him
bucket as
and
Mitch?
Mitch Trubisky the same year. Yeah.
Second round pick. So they
I
went
think second or third.
so
Oh,
they
was
went
it?
Mitch
Second,
Trubisky,
I think.
and then oh my gosh, we should have traded for Mitch Trubisky. Then have them both work out on like the practice squad team.
Oh well, you
You have lost it,
competition.
Michael Christian.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I agree with Michael Christian. I forgot I'm a stand. That's right, Michael Christian. We should have traded for Mitch.
If you would have traded for Mitch, you would have had all of ESPN.
Bro, okay, listen, I'm
Zoom.
done. I'm done
Facts.
after that first retweet. I don't even need to see that. I will not comply. I see that first retweet with the name, and I'm out. I'm
Ben
out the
Shapiro?
door. Goodness gracious, Adam Shaheen, get out of here now. Austin Jackson. Do you guys think that Austin Jackson won't play this Sunday?
I don't know. I have to like really sit there and like do the math because from what I read is that he's out 5 days for sure. After the 5 days, he needs two negative tests. Two negative tests back to back 24 hours apart. I don't know if that 4 p.m. start is gonna help us, but it's like a time crunch for sure.
Okay.
Bro, nobody should be worried about it. We have the Jesse Davis that's going to start.
Yeah, bro.
What? And that's what. Well, that's what I was
bro.
gonna get at. If Austin Jackson does miss,
We
what
know who's
does the
gonna
lineup
start.
become?
I
know
don't
what the lineup is.
I don't want
But-
Liam at left tackle. I'll be honest.
Okay, you don't want
No,
Liam at left
Liam-
tackle, even
no,
though
they're
that's what he
gonna
played
put
in
Jesse-
college.
They're
I
going to put
don't
Jesse at
because
left, and they're going to put Liam at right.
in a 2-month period, he would have gone from playing left guard to right guard or right tackle to then left tackle. We're talking about 3 different positions in a matter
Didn't they
of.
do that with Robert Hunt last year?
Nah, Robert Hunt strictly started at tackle, and then just
I think
this
Robert
year
Hunt
they
played 2 positions last year,
Mm-mm.
or was it?
Kinley did.
I was talking to
Kinley
Okay.
went from right guard to left guard or left guard to right
Bro,
guard.
I got
if Jesse Davis can do it, Liam can do it too.
I would
Right.
rather put Jesse at left and then put Liam at right.
I think that's what's going to end up happening. I think
Because
what's
they throw
gonna be
the help
result of that-
anyway all the way to the right when Jesse's
I think
there
Liam
anyway.
is going to secure one of those starting spots based off of the way he plays in the first game, which is something that I wanted to happen anyway. Like I want Liam to be the starting tackle.
Well,
And so I think-
let me ask you guys too, because CK brought up Greg Little potentially taking the spot and never bringing it back or giving it back. You guys think that's possible too?
I mean,
with the talent that we have, is that it's not. It wouldn't be. There's no talent at tackle, man. Besides Liam, we don't know what we're gonna get from him. We have high expectations.
well,
but
let's be frank for a second. Sorry, I'll let you finish. We don't know what we have with Liam Eichenberg either. Let's not act like we do. We've seen a couple preseason snaps.
Have
Like-
a stud.
They weren't as bad as Austin Jackson's though,
Right.
Okay, but we've seen Austin Jackson play in the regular season,
and there were some pretty bad ones as well there.
and there were
yeah.
some pretty good ones too.
oh, you're being.
And we have the history of Notre
No,
Dame offensive
I'm
linemen being able to translate pretty well into the NFL, bro.
Listen, I don't trust the Dolphins on that kind of stuff, right? Because they drafted Michael
Neither
Deere and it
do
took
I.
them 4 years to figure it out. Okay, or 3 years. Dude is from Wisconsin. They're supposed to be an offensive line manufacturing machine, and they got it wrong with Michael Dieter for 3 years. So I don't.
And
I don't
when
know
you
about that
switch
kind of stuff.
positions with your
Right.
rookies, this is what happens.
Sorry, Michael. You were saying though.
I mean, we haven't even brought up the fact if let's say Austin Jackson doesn't play and the offensive line starts to struggle versus New England's pass rush, our running game maybe doesn't get going or whatever. In the passing game, we can play around with max protect. We can drop a Durham Smythe in there. I think a few years ago, I remember when we had Josh Rosen, when we played Dallas. That's something that we did a lot.
Right, a lot of max. Yeah, because Josh Rosen couldn't read the
No,
field.
yeah,
with
terrible.
crack.
Great times, great times.
Listen,
We had
we've
a
come
friend,
such a long
We had
way.
a mutual friend who was very high on Josh Rosen. We won't say names.
Delusional Dolphins fans.
But here's the thing, right? We've come such a long way in so many positions, and yet it feels like we've gone. I wouldn't even say a circle with the offensive line. We've just been standing at the same point for years. Like what What the hell?
I mean, I would say it is a circle. We get hyped. We think we're getting some good players. The good players fail, and then we're right back to looking for new players.
I mean, last year the offensive line wasn't anything that really concerned me. I'm gonna
Like
be honest.
honestly, like how sad is it that we're here after having a first-round pick, a second-round pick, a fourth-round pick in 2020, and then in 2021, second or third-round pick with Liam, and then a seventh rounder, and we're still needing basically 4 positions outside of Robert Hunt. Like, it's a little concerning.
You know what? Screw it. Start Larnell Coleman on Sunday. That's what
He's
I
on
say.
IR.
No, but I think I think the reason that is because the Dolphins, I mean, they had a lot of holes to fill. And they, you know what I mean, they used a lot of draft capital to kind of fill some of those holes.
Yeah, for sure. My thing is it's been premium draft capital, you know?
Yeah, and they hit on a lot of it, you know what I mean? Now the Austin Jackson is the one pick that we can point at and look at, okay, that definitely looks like a miss at this point.
I mean,
but you know what I mean?
One after that looks pretty bad too.
Hey, bro.
and I was high on him, so
hey, bro, it is what it is. But I think like I said before, like the Dolphins have a blind spot at offensive line, and it's going to take a lot of trial and error for them to find something. They got Robert Hunt in there, who looks like he could be a stud. Like, and so hopefully Liam pans out, and then you got 2 or 3 if you count Solomon Kinley. You got 3 pieces that you can potentially use to start building out a real line.
So I did just want to address Scott's comment, right? Like they didn't spend a lot of money, right? A lot of like cap money on getting an offensive line, but this team has worked on trying to get it right through the draft, right? They didn't spend a lot this past free agency because for the most part, we thought the offensive line would be fine. I will say this again. Last season, going into games, the offensive line was not what was scaring me. The offensive line wasn't what I was sitting there thinking, okay, I mean, the offensive line is going to be bad again, and that's where we're going to lose. I don't even think the offensive line is why we lost games. There was a lot of different things going on, but I don't think they were really it. So they were coming into the season thinking it would be fine.
I mean, in some games, you had Jakeem Grant as your number 1 weapon. That's worrisome.
Right. We had bigger issues, in my opinion, at the time than figuring out what was going on with the offensive line because it was sufficient. And it seems, at least so far this preseason, they've taken a step back, and there's not really anything we can do about it. Bro, Juan, what are you doing in the private chat, bro? Bring that up here.
Oh, I was just going to bring it up because, in my opinion, Mike Gesicki's going to ball out this year, right? But seeing Mark Andrews just get paid, I think it was 4 years, $55 million or something like that, or more, I think. I just don't see how he comes back when he's probably going to be asking for around 16, 17 million a year. I just want to know your guys' thoughts on that.
16, 17 million when Mark Andrews just got, what is that?
14 a year.
14?
I feel comfortable at that number.
Yeah.
At 16 or 7, because Kelsey's what? Kelsey's like 15?
Yeah.
And I think George Kittle is just a notch over 14.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable making Gesicki the highest paid by that much. 17 million.
No, I'd give Gesicki somewhere in this range. I'd give him the 14.
Asking for that.
I'll give him 14. I'll match Mark Andrews.
The only reason I say he's not going to be asking for that is because he's going to do exactly what Byron does. Is that Byron played out his deal, unlike what X did, and Byron had the benefit of having multiple teams basically, auction off his talent, and eventually the highest bidder won and overpaid a little bit. I don't think that Byron necessarily should be 16.9 or whatever.
The number is also your guaranteed money. It's not as much as on the annual term of what you're going to get paid. Because if we give him a $60 million deal and only 28, for example, is guaranteed, you can cut him in 2 years and call it a day.
I think they can match him at about what Mark Andrews just got. And also, let's be honest, the tight end position isn't the same as cornerback.
Got 12. Hunter
Henry
got 12.
I wouldn't. The tight end position to me isn't the same as cornerback. Nah, I think you can figure out tight ends in other places, right? You can make do. And if they think Hunter Long is it, because a lot of people think that Hunter Long is it.
I don't know about that, bro. Yeah, I don't know about that, bro.
There's about 5.
Stupid.
Yeah. There's about 5 elite tight ends. After that, it's like bottom of the barrel.
I don't think that people pay for tight end the way they do for cornerback, though.
They're
never going to do that.
Christian. I want to agree with you.
Disagree with me. I'm fine with that.
No. Don't worry. I'm not going to. I'm going to disagree with you. Like, it is definitely tight end is one of the more important positions. And when you have a good one, you keep them. Like, especially when you have one like Gesicki who can moonlight as a receiver. Like you keep that guy. He's one of the better tight ends, definitely top 7, 8 tight ends in the league. You're not just gonna replace him because you're looking at Shaheen start for you if you don't find somebody else in the
They were
market.
pretty high on Hunter Long, and there was a lot of people, including Juan, that mentioned Hunter Long might be that Gesicki replacement.
Well,
no,
but
for
Brian
sure,
Flores-
for sure. But
Right.
after
Yeah,
this
sure, but
year,
not now.
the year he's
But
gonna
that
have
gives-
this year.
But that gives
He's
the
gonna
Dolphins the
be-
leverage in that situation. They tell him here's 14. Somebody wants to come around and give him 16, 17, then go ahead. But I'm not so sure that it's going to happen.
Well, Brian Flores comes from a Patriots culture where they have 2 great tight ends for the most part through all of his career. I think that's more of what the Dolphins were going for instead of having average and Mr. Unvaccinated on the left, and then you have Durham Smythe, who's just strictly a blocker. His hands have improved throughout the years, but he's strictly a blocker. I think that's more to what they were going for.
And then just to kind of harken back on the offensive line conversation, when you have an offensive line like like the Dolphins have, then tight ends become a quarterback's best friend for those quick routes, for those easy completions.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna find very many people better than Gesicki in being able to be a target for Tua when his offensive line is letting people walk through.
Yeah, Mike doesn't need a big window to catch that ball.
And he's going to find a way to get it. Listen, I'm going to be frank. I'm surprised the guy hasn't gotten a more serious injury a lot earlier based on some of those hits he's taken. Because sometimes he catches that ball in the middle of the field and he gets absolutely rocked. I'm just not so sure that the market for him is going to be that 16 to 17 million that Juan is talking about. Because that's Travis Kelce range. And we can all be honest, he's not Travis Kelce.
He's Kelce light. Kelce called him a top 5 tight end, bro.
It's the Walmart version of Travis Kelce.
That's fine. Nobody else in the league sees him as Travis Kelce, though.
The Walmart version.
I do. We're running Walmart.
So then if you see him as a Travis Kelce, why aren't you paying him the 16, 17?
Oh, I know they're not gonna pay him. If anything, they're gonna come in. They're gonna offer him 12, and they're gonna be like, "Bro, sorry, we gotta pay the queen." They're gonna bullshit.
We got Adam Shaheen, bro.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna tell him we have options, just like you're saying, and they're gonna offer him 12. He's gonna get upset because respectfully, he's a little moody. And he's gonna go on a blocking spree and then end up somewhere like fucking Jacksonville for 18 mil a year. Like it would not shock me.
That boy Todd Miller said he had a question for the people who work for 5 Reasons. Do y'all have other jobs?
No,
bro. Listen to me, bro.
We get paid so much here at 5 Reasons. That's all I do.
I move JPEGs. I take screenshots and sell NFTs.
If I had to live off of the money that Ethan J. Skolnick pays me, bro, I live in a box underneath a fucking bridge, bro. Okay,
this is all royal, not the rest of us. This is all royal.
So cheap, bro. That man is so cheap, bro. I think we just had to split a $5 footlong.
Where Colin was wrong.
Who wrong? Who wrong? Y'all show.
Bro, you're in timeout. I can't. Royal's in timeout. Nope, he's in timeout. Kai, don't bring him back in. He's in timeout. We can't. That was all Royal. I can't do it. I can't do it. I would like to see Mike Gesicki stay, and I think the best plan would be for them to offer him a contract probably halfway through the season. Right? He starts having a pretty decent season. It's not the end yet. I think they offer him something halfway through. Some sort of extension, I think it would work out best that way.
Honestly, we should sign him before the season, man. I think that would be smart.
I think that would work. I just think if they were going to do that, they would have done that already.
Yeah, probably.
Bro, Ethan Skolnick is bro.
The most important number when it comes to that contract talk is the guaranteed money. How much are we willing to give him? Because somebody can offer him $20 million for all we care, and if they only guarantee him $35 million, but we're giving him 12 a year, and we guarantee the full contract, then the 12 a year outweighs the other.
Yeah, but I think he's still going to see that as I could probably because he hasn't had an injury history yet, right? So he probably sees it as I will earn the rest of my contract, and I don't need to rely on the. Huh?
How old is Mike? 27.
I feel like he's younger than that. I feel like he's 25.
He's 25. He's 25.
Yeah. Because he came out in the same class as Mark Andrews.
Yeah, he's still got it.
Bro, he's gonna get paid, bro.
Yeah, he's gonna break the fucking bank, bro.
Yeah, bro.
100%.
I'd be surprised to see if it happens. Hey, listen, I'm not saying it's impossible.
Yep, that's exactly what that's exactly what I feel is gonna happen. And we might still have to revisit the X situation come next year. So
now,
do
you think the Dolphins would all play the game of maybe don't throw so much to Gesicki so that we can get him a little cheaper?
Oh, for sure. Red zone, he'll be out. He's not going to be in the red zone. They're telling him, oh no, we're gonna do 2 tight end sets. We're gonna run the ball, and then when Tua throws the ball, when Tua throws the ball, they're gonna be like, Mike, he audible that we don't know. We didn't see what happened. I don't. Yeah, for sure, 100%.
I think it depends on the game.
Bro, Tua's gonna feed him so much, man. Like Waddle and Fuller opening up in the middle, bro.
And that's the thing. That speed.
I drafted him in every single fantasy. That's how strong.
Who took him in our fantasy
I'll
league?
never draft the Dolphins.
I'm bringing him back. Hold on, Royal. Who drafted him in our fantasy league?
Fuck Welch. Who drafted him?
Who drafted Gesicki in our fantasy league? Do you know?
Oh no, I don't. I know he was like the 3rd or 4th tight end taken though.
Yeah, he was pretty early. But that makes sense for him. I think all of us have said that. I think all of us have said that Gesicki's going to eat this year, and
yeah,
I think it should honestly be that way. I'm excited to see it. Right now, I think that's the one. Again, he catches a lot of those passes in the middle of the field where he gets some contact really early on. I really hope nothing happens to him this year because he's been close a lot of times.
My dog Cat.
Yeah. Yo, yeah, you know, give us a little bit about that.
I don't work at Foot Locker. My buddy, one of my best friends, he's the owner of the Edition Boutique. The Edition Boutique is the one that was selling all the way of weights. Support your friends. That's all that is. I was supporting my friend.
Nice, dude.
That is more than support, my guy.
You should buy one of those referee shirts though, just for when you walk people through that. Right, you can put the referee shirt on and walk them through, and they'll really feel that Foot Locker experience. They like really get. I
have a question for you. Now that we're in the who's gonna eat this year, Jalen Waddle. For all of you guys, Jalen Waddle. When do you expect him to break out? Because for example, last year I've seen on Twitter they're comparing him to he can be the next Justin Jefferson for this year. Well, Justin Jefferson.
I don't know about that.
At the first game, Justin Jefferson had like 2 for 20 something, and the third game was like 3 receptions for 40.
JJ took a while.
Will Fuller's not playing week 1. Waddle's a starter in the slot. What do you guys expect from him?
Man, it's gonna be tough with Waddle. Personally, I think Waddle is gonna have a good year. I don't see him having a Justin Jefferson year. Right? I'd love to see that. And I would love to be wrong. But Justin Jefferson exploded in a way that rookie wide receivers haven't done in a while. Like that was absolutely nuts. So I think that's putting a bit too much. And somebody else said, oh, I could very easily see him being the next Tyreek Hill, which is, again, like I understand the comparison, but it's like, hey, let's compare him to 2 of the top wide receivers in the league. And that's, I think, putting a lot on him really early. And if he doesn't reach that, I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed. So I think he'll have a good season. I just don't think he'll explode in the Justin Jefferson kind of way. I'd love to be wrong, but I just don't see it.
Honestly,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mike. Okay, thank you. Honestly, bro, if he gets like 800 yards, I'm happy with that because I think a lot of his value is going to be like distracting the defense, bro. He's going to command so much attention and open him up for everybody else. So I think that's really important with him.
Yeah, so just to kind of combine those points, which is what I was going to say, I think the way that we view Jalen Waddle's season is going to be a matter of perspective. So if you're looking at his impact, I think that's what fans should be focused on. The impact that he will have on this offense will be humongous because of the things that he can do with the ball in his hand and the way that he can stretch the defense. Statistically, you're not going to want to look at his stats and try and judge what type of season he has in terms of breaking out because he's, like somebody in the comments said, there are a lot of mouths to feed, but he's going to be one of the primary targets that Tua is looking for when they're trying to make splash plays, trying to get something going on offense, trying to get some electricity into the offense. So in terms of his impact, I think he's going to be huge, but statistically, I don't think he's going to be, bro. When are we going to bring Welch ass on this show, bro? That's what I want to do, bro. Welch, bro, meet me outside, bro. That's what I got, bro.
Bro, nobody want to go to Tallahassee. Get out of here.
Bro, I'm going to put these hands on Welch, bro. Yeah, I'm going to put these hands on Welch.
I will. Juan, I'll throw this one to you. As for comparison, Jarvis Landry's rookie season, he had 84 receptions, 758 yards with 5 touchdowns.
That's exactly what I expect.
I think all of us would take that as a successful first season for Jalen.
That's
Waddle,
what
right?
I expect. Yeah. See, not my only I'll play devil's advocate to this is most of training camp and during that Atlanta game, that's how they really kind of practice most of training camp. It was like he's the focal point. You're gonna throw it to him first. He's option number one. And if the defense isn't double teaming him, like you still look for him. Like again, like that Shaheen interception against Chicago, that was because he went to Shaheen first. He saw he was open, but he still wanted to go to Waddle number one-on-one by himself. He couldn't get off of it, but he was late with that. I feel like in the best scenario, I could see maybe like 1,200 yards, somewhere around 80 receptions, and like 4 touchdowns.
I'm gonna be damn glad I took him in all my other fantasy leagues.
But that was
one.
I hope so.
Yeah.
my God. But nah, I just ultimately we're probably gonna overreact if he ends up with like 600 yards and like 200 yards rushing, because he's also gonna do that as well. But I'm very high on Waddle.
You forgot one, Cap. He's backstage, but you forgot one. I will say, I know I brought up the Jarvis Landry comparison. I think the one difference I would want to see is if it took 84 receptions for Jalen Waddle to get 758 yards, I would be a little disappointed, because that isn't what we.
He catches 80 balls. That's like 1,100 yards for me.
That's what I'm saying, right? Because I want to see him break away.
No,
right. I want to see him be able to find that angle and kind of take it away, because Jarvis couldn't do that.
Catching a 6-yard slant, taking it to the house once or twice.
That's what. Listen, the first time that happens, first of all of Alabama Dolphins Twitter is going to go nuts.
We don't talk about those people.
We don't talk about those people, but they support the Dolphins. I'm fine with them.
No, they're odd.
Whoa, dang, Kendall.
I think there was like a keyboard malfunction there.
I absolutely think so. I think he meant to type anything else.
I think it was supposed to be 3,200 yards.
Yeah. Before we get to full season predictions, I did want one other. I want us to set kind of a bar. That's such an ugly uniform.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That's an ugly uniform.
That's
brown uniform.
Not that one. That one's ugly as shit. The classic one, the normal one. Yeah, that one.
What? That's the same thing.
Bro, they look the same.
What? That was the same exact thing.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it was
the letters
not.
are orange on one and the other.
Yeah.
Bro, no. Kai, bring that back up. They were the same thing. Hold on a second.
Bring it back up. We're gonna argue.
Yeah. Nah.
And I'm gonna win.
We had other stuff to talk about. I don't care.
It's not an argument. Like what?
Yeah, thank you.
Same thing, different front.
Different name, homie. Read, dog.
Yeah, one's orange and the other one's
Bro,
white.
the orange number and the white number, you saying that's the big difference for you?
Do you see the white also in the
But that's the big difference
shoulder?
for you.
That's a huge difference.
It's an ugly uniform.
I think the orange was the color rush, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. We had a creamsicle color rush. Let's not go there, please.
Oh, listen, the Dolphins jerseys aren't great either, and all of us will say the same thing. They just need to make the throwbacks permanent.
Yeah.
Like, good lord, the fact that they haven't done that yet is
it's not as bad as the Heat with the they
oh, the gold jersey? The gold jersey was trash. Trash.
Both of them, bro. Like the Army
the
gold
yogurt?
jersey that they had. Yeah, bro. Like the Army gold jersey and then the Pacers jersey that we wore last.
Yep.
Bro, don't get me started on them, bro. Like this would be a whole different goddamn show.
Jersey.
God, bro. I hate them, bro.
So I want us to kind of go through this and set this bar. The guy who's been the absolute focal point of this team literally since a year before we actually drafted him. What is for us the minimum we want to see from Tua? We need to talk about it.
Here we fucking go.
That's the minimum I need to see at some point in his career. That's for damn sure. But
that's
Are you talking about minimum long term for his career, or like
minimum right now? This season, for us to walk away from this season feeling like Tua did what we expected, we walk away from it feeling happy with him and his performance. What are we doing?
Who's starting?
Juan, we'll go with you because you're the biggest Tua fan on here.
Would I hope or would I expect? Because it's not the same.
Nope. Do it.
Okay. What I hope is around 3,800 yards and 29 touchdowns.
No, but I want you give me your bar. Give me your bar of this is what he needs to reach, and I'm gonna say we're
bare
good.
minimum bar for me to be like, okay, we got something is 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, less than 9 interceptions, and like rushing like 3. But mainly just more of like looking in command like he was against Atlanta. Like I don't really care about the stats. Like I just need him more like comfortable.
Whoa. Ryan, you've been talking to Kendall too much with those kinds of predictions. Michael, we'll go to you next. I want you to give me like this is what he needs to reach, and then what you actually think he's going to reach.
The minimum I would want, besides stats, I need to see him take command of the offense. How he was in preseason, he looked a lot more comfortable. His pocket presence is going to be very important for our. Let's not even get back to the offensive line. But besides that, I think between taking into account that there's a 17th game, between 3,800 to 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, single-digit interceptions, and over 65% of a completion percentage.
True.
Okay, Alejandro.
And manage the game. But there's like 7 or 8 games this year that we have to win, just strictly off of talent. Those are games that I don't need you throwing for 300 yards. Those games, take the lead and just manage the game. That's important.
On that same note, and I'll go into it more when I go through my stuff. I need to see him win a couple too, right? I need to see a couple where our backs are kind of against the wall. I need to see him winning it. Listen, I was probably leaning more Alfredo's side, but that we'll get to that later. Alejandro, let's go with your numbers for Tua for this upcoming season.
Okay, we know Tua is going to be efficient. That's what he is. He's always going to be that. Like, I think what Alfredo said, I think I agree, bro. Like 30 touchdowns, like if you think about it, I don't really think it's that difficult because that's like what, 1.5 touchdowns a game in a 17-game season. Like,
yeah, just about.
I don't really think that's difficult. I think he can reach it easily, and that's also what I expect. I trust Tua with everything.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers, what do we think?
Oh, that boy won an MVP.
He is going to win MVP. He's going to win MVP. He's going to be the 2nd seed in the West, and then he's going to lose in the playoffs.
No, but shut up, Michael Christian. No, I'm sorry. You're right, Michael Christian. I forgot that.
You've been so conflicted all for you.
But no, I do think that we need to take into account that extra game. That is gonna, like, if we're putting our numbers based off a 16-game season, then I think I would lean towards what Juan was saying with the 25 to 2,800 yards, 29 touchdowns, less single-digit interceptions. But because of the extra game, then I'm gonna give him that 3,000, 3,200, like that window in terms of yardage. Maybe the 30 touchdowns isn't as unrealistic as some people may think. And yeah, single-digit interceptions. But I'm looking for, like, I think Dolphins fans should be happy as long as he's better than Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like,
but 3,200 in a 17-game season, that's what, like 190 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
That's your bar for you to be comfortable moving into Tua on a team that their timeline accelerated greatly because we didn't expect to win 10 games last year. That's your bar, 200 less than 200 yards a game.
That's what I expect too. Yeah,
the expectations and your bar of your hope to what would be a successful season. Those are different things.
I just don't think that we're gonna be I'm kind of conflicted how they're trying to run the offense. Like if they're trying to run it like more of like a point guard for Tua, then maybe he eats. I don't know how the health is gonna work out with the wide receivers as well as the running game for the RPO, because you need that threat of the running game for the RPO to actually work. If you're not running it efficiently, I mean, they're not going to care about.
Bro, you should play some Madden Ultimate Team online.
What does that mean?
Fucking telling you, Michael.
Bro, that run game don't do nothing.
I'm watching the stream right now, the Madden Championship League. But no,
shoot,
also,
I forgot they have drops on. Oh no.
Yeah, I've been watching for 3 hours. 3 hours.
He just muted himself.
As I was saying, though, 190 yards, you would. I think we don't have a great running game to speak of. So let's say he gets 190 yards. Well, you get, as a team, 100 yards rushing. 290 yards is not going to win you many games.
Bro, as a team, 100 yards rushing, I think it's going to be difficult.
I mean, that's a good segue to go into season prediction because, I mean, I do have 9 and 8. I do have us being 9 and 8.
Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Okay,
perfect.
But yeah, I think one of the things that we have to take into account as well is the fact that defense is going to be winning us a lot of these games. So yeah, while 200 yards may not win you,
said
most
us
games,
again.
It's stuck. But, he's in there. He's in there.
While 200 yards, the hat, bro, it's flowing through me, bro. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins. But while 200 yards may not, or 290 may not be enough to get you in most teams, this team is probably top 5 defensively. You expect your defense to get you in. It's not going to take very many points or yards for this team to win games.
For me,
True.
like my numbers with Tua, I'm going high bar. I want to see 4,000 yards. I want to see at least 4,000 yards, and I want to see at least 4,000 yards. Now, if he doesn't reach 4,000 yards because our defense absolutely locked them down, right? And he just didn't have to throw. We just ran the ball a lot. That's going to be completely different. But I want to see at least 4,000 yards. I want to see him get close to 30 touchdowns, right? If he's around 27, 28, I'm fine with that. And single-digit interceptions. I need to see all those things. The running aspect doesn't really matter that much to me. Whether he runs for a touchdown or runs for none, I don't really care that much. As long as he's taking command of the offense and we're doing fine, I'm going to be happy with those numbers. But I think 4,000 yards is very easily achievable. I mean, that's an average of 235 passing yards per game. We have the weapons now that he should be able to do it. If he loses all of them, right? Everybody goes down with injury. The offensive line is exactly what Alejandro thinks, then sure. Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a hard time throwing for more than 120 yards per game. But I just don't think all that's going to happen.
I think last year he was at 204. I think if he goes less than 204, that's not a
all right.
ideal.
So let me ask you.
Squad? No.
Let me ask you. Yeah, he's on the Ravens Patrick squad. Yeah.
He's better than all of our running backs, bro.
Chill.
Tell me, you don't think so?
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. No,
all right. So let me ask you guys this: if we see, please get him up. If we see Tua have 3,200 yards, 23 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, but we're 11-6 and in the playoffs, how you feeling?
You asking me specifically or everybody?
Just everybody.
I'm disappointed.
Same.
Okay.
I'm not.
Alejandro.
And can you repeat? Cut out a bit.
So if we're 11-6 in the playoffs, but Tua has 3,200 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, how you feeling?
Disappointed in Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because at that point, in my opinion,
I think he can do more.
We've made the playoffs. We've made the playoffs in spite of Tua, not because of Tua at that point.
Yeah, the defense carries. Sure.
Bro, the defense is going to carry you anyway, whether Tua plays well or not.
But he has to play better. He has to play well.
I agree, that's an enormous carry, bro.
When was the last time the Miami Dolphins had a quarterback that led them to the playoffs?
Put up what Alf said, because
you know the answer to that. You don't have to ask that one.
2016.
So I agree with what Alf is saying, right?
Just kidding. The quarterback's name was Jay Ajayi.
They rode that boy till his knees gave out.
To the playoffs. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I think it'll be unfair to be disappointed because
time out. 2008. A long time ago, but I'll take that one. Chad Pennington was a hero.
I agree.
Sure. But Chad Pennington couldn't throw the ball 7 yards down the goddamn field. But this is what I'm saying.
It worked.
It worked.
I know, but he was my favorite.
This is what I'm saying. Tua's best attribute, like I said about Jalen Waddle, is not going to be statistics. With him, it's not going to be impact. It's going to be wins and losses. Does he not lose you the game? And so if they go 11-6, then that means Tua didn't lose you some of the games.
But for me, it's this: you spent the 5th overall pick on this quarterback. You don't spend the 5th overall pick on a game manager. You don't spend the 5th overall pick on a game manager.
He will get there.
But I think he can get there now. I genuinely believe he can do the 4,000 yards in the season.
Sure, easily. I believe so too. But if he doesn't do that, and you still are winning games and get yourself into the playoffs, then it's hard for me to be disappointed in a season like that. Considering that we're talking about the Miami fucking Dolphins.
My concern there is just in that the dynamic that they're trying to play is kind of like what Alf was saying, that it is going to be a dynamic offense. They are going to try to get their ball to their playmakers. I guess the double-edged sword there for me is if those plays aren't hitting and you are putting your defense that's more bend don't break type of style defense where they're more opportunistic on turnovers, if that stuff doesn't happen and you're putting them out there for 70-80 plays a game, I don't know if that's a good dynamic that's gonna be fruitful in terms of like winning in the regular season.
And I want to know, Alfredo, you heard Juan's stuff, and actually we should probably tweet this out because that's actually a really good question for people to ask, like if they would be disappointed or not in that stat line for Tua. I do also wonder what Alfredo thinks, like if he'd be disappointed in that stat line. Because I think he would be. I could be totally wrong on that.
Definitely be disappointed.
Yeah, I feel like he just predicted 4,400 yards with 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
I think whatever. If you want to pull up Baker Mayfield's stats last year in 16 games, if Tua does that in 17 games, as a bar, I'm happy. I think.
Okay, here I'll give it to you. Baker Mayfield 2020 was 3,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions.
And what was his completion percentage?
62.8.
That's
whoa,
gotta be a little higher, but I'll be satisfied.
Love it.
I'm assuming he's saying yes, he's
he would be disappointed.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just, especially with a guy like Tua who's played so much at the biggest level in college football, right, at the school that absolutely torched up my school's ass. I just expect, I do expect more from him. I do. Now, if he's close to that 4,000, right? If he's around 3,800, he has a better touchdown interception ratio than what you said, because I think you said 26 and 12.
Who, me?
Then
I said 23 and 12.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's not
tough.
even a full 2-to-1, homie.
Yeah,
that's tough. Like, because I'm not considering him throwing 12 in.
Chad Henne could have done that.
Yeah, sure. I was a Chad Henne fan though.
This one I'm not. This one I completely disagree with. To me, I'm not comparing them anymore. I just see Herbert at a different level.
Yeah,
I just see Herbert at a different level now.
I don't think so. I think Herbert has a better team.
Absolutely. Well, I think last year he did. I think he has a better team now, but it's much closer, at least from a weapon standpoint, for the Dolphins.
But he has better weapons who've been doing it longer. Like I think
anything
Justin
possible.
Herbert, yeah, I think Justin Herbert kind of got a lot of love for the shit that other people was doing. So I like him as a quarterback, but I don't think he's head and shoulders above Tua or head and shoulders better than Tua.
I just think they're different quarterbacks. One likes to be
they're in different systems.
Yeah,
like it just is what it is. We'll get to our last thing here, and then we'll talk about a giveaway that we're gonna do with everybody, and it'll be resolved by this Sunday, so people should get their stuff fairly soon. Before we get to that one, though, last segment here. What is your prediction for the season? What is your record prediction for the Miami Dolphins? I'm actually sticking to the same one I had when we did this a super long time ago.
I'm the only one just making the prediction. Is that what it is?
You picked 1-16. That sounds about right.
And 1-8 at home for sure.
And that only win is against Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go season predictions for everybody. And since he hasn't been on here the entire time, we will start with Kai.
11-6.
Okay. And I'm assuming, man, that has to be playoffs, right? I mean, that's gonna be close, but that has to be playoffs.
It has to be, yes.
I gotta be shocked if it wasn't. Mac Jones, what do you think?
9-8.
Explain. The floor is yours.
That's a big oof, dude.
I did two different scenarios. I did my 1-4 scenario to start, and then I did another one where they didn't start 1-4. And I kid you not, at the end of them, they both ended up 9-8. So I'm kind of I'm just stuck on 9-8.
Did you have them losing 3 in a row? And it was like Giants. It was like Giants, Panthers.
So look, my 1-4 scenario is that they only beat Vegas to start, right? So just start with that. Week 6, they end up beating Jacksonville, so they're 2-4.
This is the start you have right now? Okay.
Yeah, right. Week 7, right, they beat Atlanta. They lose to Buffalo. They beat Houston. They lose to Baltimore. Beat Jets. Lose to Carolina. Beat the Giants.
Oh, you switched now.
Oh, you switched that one.
Yeah,
you had us losing to D Jones.
I flipped that one.
This is an ultimate team, bro. Daniel Jones is not that good.
No. That's
bro.
That's why I went with Sam Darnold.
Who do they think Daniel Jones is on Madden, bro?
They play. They beat the Jets, so 7-7. They beat New Orleans 8-7. They lose against Tennessee, and then they lose against New England.
This is really what you have.
That's what I had. Yeah.
Wait, you have us losing to New England twice?
Yeah, and the Bills.
Bro, no way that happens, bro.
Bro, the Bills one, I'm a little more with you because it's the Bills, but the Patriots.
Maybe if you flip, you can flip this game.
I really was back and forth between week 17, but I kind of just saw them
this should be the barrier. 10-7 should be the bare minimum.
Barring injuries, yeah. But yeah, let's let everybody else go on it though. Michael, what do you have as a record?
11-6. 11-6. I think if you just look at that schedule, there's 7 teams that right off the bat we're way more talented than. Let's say you lose. It's the NFL. You can lose to anybody on any given week. Let's say you win just 6 out of those 7. right? You only got to win 5 games for the rest of the season. The rest of the 10 games, split them 5-5. I think that's the bare minimum. 11-6.
Juan really is, bro. It's sad.
I've been on it, bro. I've been saying it for months. So the minute that it came out,
Oh,
I was like,
time out.
that looks like 9-8 to me.
Time out. Cat, hold on a second. Bring Cat. Listen, I do love Tua. I think Tua's gonna have a good season. I think that Buffalo team is on a different level, and I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Y'all, the whole time I've been sitting here listening, I've been plotting and scheming. You guys are some certified fakes.
What?
Every single one of you, bro.
Damn.
Except for Royal, because Royal's not a true Dolphins fan yet. I was listening to some of the things being said, the Tua slander, especially from look, I'm not gonna name names, bro, but some of us here, are very big Tua fans, and the hate, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. This was ridiculous.
Alejandro, what's your season prediction?
12-5, wild card spot.
Damn, that's
Bro,
the biggest. That's
with the changes we made, upgrades on the offense. I don't see why we can't win 12 games, bro.
Hey, listen, I see you.
So what's the wins then? What's the wins then? Let's run this down then. 12-5. What's the wins? You saying we win this weekend?
Yeah.
All right.
We lose to the Bills.
Okay.
Win against the Raiders.
All right.
Beat the Colts.
Okay.
Lose to the Bucks.
All right.
Okay.
Win. Next win.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah.
Juan sounds like the meme.
Win.
Okay.
Win. Loss. Win.
Ooh,
we're sweeping the Jets.
Yeah.
And
you didn't click it though.
This one's hard. I think we're gonna lose to the Saints.
All right.
Beat the Titans.
Ooh.
And win against the Patriots.
Yo, what is it? Yo, 13-4. And I think that's fine because there's a couple
Bro,
of those that could easily flip.
Even better.
I think we lose both games very close to the Bills. That's my difference here. I think we beat the Saints and we don't beat the Titans.
Kai, screenshot that. I'm gonna send that to Alejandro so you can keep it.
All right, cool.
Bro, you want to know what's crazy though?
I'm gonna make it an NFT.
I'll do it on mine. Bro, what you got?
I think when we did this exercise earlier, I had them at 11-6.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I think they're trying to convince me to go 12-5.
Ooh.
I'm gonna hold that 11-6 though. But there are a few games in there that got me kind of like. I think the Dolphins might be able to pull some of them out.
Yeah. Okay.
Health is important.
I think health, if it goes out the window, right? If you lose some key guys, I think we can all agree that none of our predictions are going to be the same, right? Especially because we know how important certain of these pieces are. I'm also sitting at 11-6, and I actually have my exact predictions from when the schedule came out. Like I kept them from when we did that. When did we do that? 2 months ago? When the schedule came out?
That, yeah. Something
I
like
have
that.
the exact one. So I think I'm basically the same as Alejandro. I flipped 2 of those games. I don't remember which ones they were. But
Fredo said Christ Kaufman said 12-5.
Big facts.
I could see 12-5. I mean, 12-5 is one off from what most of us, except for Juan, are saying. Right? Because we all went, 3 of us went 11-6.
Michael went 11-6 too?
Yeah.
I think I won 11-6, right? I've been on 11-6 and 10-7 is the baseline for a while now.
Bro, I got it right here. That 11-6. I have it written down week by week. And I'm gonna track it too.
11-6, losing twice to Buffalo. So if we somehow pull one of those Buffalo games out of the past, which is possible, then it's 12-5.
My thing with Buffalo has nothing to do with Tua, though. My thing with Buffalo has to do with this Dolphins team has never stopped Josh Allen.
Yep.
Until I see them do that, I do not see us beating Buffalo. I'm sorry.
It's not even about Josh Allen running of us. We got to keep him in the pocket. We have a hard time keeping him in the pocket.
Josh Allen looks like if Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and then Russell Wilson's pocket presence had a baby, and that's Josh Allen every time he plays against the Dolphins. I'm right, Royal.
Michael Christian.
I'm right.
Sure.
Josh
you
Allen.
are right, Michael. I agree with you, Michael. I agree with you.
But
there's just small things that I would change about that. It was just small things I would change about that, like the Aaron Rodgers and the Russell Wilson and the Tom Brady parts. But other than that, you're absolutely right.
No, because you got Russell Wilson's like
he's not like
and evasiveness.
No, he doesn't.
Right, and then you bring in Aaron Rodgers' arm, and then
doesn't
Tom
have
Brady's
that
like
either.
smarts. No,
He doesn't have any of that.
He doesn't have any of that on a week-to-week
I agree
basis.
with you.
He
Other
has
than
that
those
every
two
time he
teams,
plays the
or-
Dolphins.
It's more
The
Cam
last time
Newton
we
than
beat the
Charles
Bills
Clay.
and Josh Allen.
Huh?
It's
The
more Cam
last time
Newton
we
than
beat the
Russell
Bills
Wilson.
and Josh Allen was with
Charles
this.
Clay dropped that.
Charles
Because
Clay
he
dropped
dropped
in the end
it.
zone.
Like he 100% had that W. He did everything he could, and Charles Clay was like, "I like you guys enough. I'm gonna drop this." Let's, put him full screen. Put Juan full screen. Can we?
I don't have anything to
Can
say.
we like flog
9 and
this
8.
man?
What?
Can we flog him? I
What
think
do
he
you want me to
deserves
say?
this.
I've been about flogging for a long time, bro. I've been on that train.
The fact that you're with that is just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely
Being,
ridiculous to me.
being
All right.
stoned is also an option, Michael Christian.
Oh, what are you, the head coach of Notre Dame? All right, so we've got a giveaway we're gonna do. So everybody here, go follow the Extra Yard account. I think the @ is at 5 Reasons Fins.
Yeah.
Right, go do that. You're gonna send us 4 things. You're gonna send us the score prediction for this Sunday's game. You're gonna send us 3 things, I guess. The score prediction for the Sunday's game. You're gonna send us Tua's yards, right? How many yards Tua's gonna have, and the total amount of turnovers that are going to take place in that game in total, right? Tua throwing an interception, Tua fumbling, Mac Jones throwing one of his 12 interceptions, Mac Jones fumbling, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. Send us all 4 of those, DM it to us at the 5 Reasons Fins account. We're going to compile it, and the winner is going to get, Juan, the prize. You want to let them know because it's your prize?
No, you can show it up on the screen, Kai, if you
I
have
don't-
it up.
Oh, I don't know if we have it.
Do we have it up? Michael? No? Question
No, we
mark?
don't have it, bro.
Oh, all right. It's just a Marvel
I'll bring
comic.
it up.
It's an NFT. I know Alejandro is huge into NFTs. He was the one who gave me the idea to give one away. So I'm just here to do my service to him and give my fans some NFTs.
So Marvel comic NFT. I mean, if there was ever a time to get a Marvel comic NFT, it's absolutely right now after Shang-Chi came out and absolutely just blew everyone's mind. What a fantastic film. Everyone loved it except for Juan because Juan is just a sad person, honestly.
I'm just watching too much One Piece. I'm sorry. I don't.
Too much Juan piece? Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So don't forget, send it to us. You're going to send us the score. We'll tweet it out as well, but you're going to send us the score prediction for the game. You're going to, look at that
There
NFT.
you go.
Que precioso.
Just screenshotted it, bro. It's mine now.
I knew he was going to say that shit.
Bro, Alfredo, stop. Alfredo. Don't. No.
Alfredo.
Take him down. Take him down.
Alfredo.
No, I
Listen.
can't. I'm not. Nope. We're not going
Alf.
to.
Yeah.
Alf, you're disrespecting my entire heritage. I mean, I'm not Chinese, I'm Japanese, but still.
It's somewhere.
That was
in there, yeah.
disrespectful.
It was mid, bro. It was a mid movie.
Bro, you haven't even seen it,
He doesn't
Juan.
even deserve. He
Shut
doesn't
up,
deserve.
bro. All right, send us the score prediction for the game. Send us Tua's yards, and then send us the total amount of turnovers that will happen in the game. And then we will go ahead and give out the NFT to whoever.
This how I'm pulling up the Juan and Alfredo house, bro.
I hope so. Okay, bro. Just say I hope so, bro.
I hope so.
That's the one?
I hope so.
All right. Oh wait, is he still full screen?
Donda.
All right. Thank you guys very much for watching the episode. A huge thanks to Michael and to Alejandro for coming on the show. Really appreciate it, guys. Make sure to go follow them on Twitter. Again, if you are a Dolphins fan and you have a Twitter and you don't follow them, I really don't know what you're doing. So check out Thrive. What am I saying? Check out Thrive Fantasy. The link is in the description. Smash that freaking like button. Subscribe. Turn on the bell. And don't forget to check out Royal's new album, Donda 2. Why is my Donda better, Kanye?